Have you ever noticed that some people seem to live as if they already have what they desire? They walk differently, they talk differently. They carry an inner certainty that feels unshakable. And strangely enough, life seems to bend in their favor. This is no coincidence. It's what Neville Goddard called living in the end, a way of shifting your mind and emotions to align with the reality you want, long before it shows up in the physical world. And in this video, I'm going to show you the secret power of living in the end. Not as some abstract spiritual phrase, but as a practical, psychological, and transformational tool that can completely change your life. By the end of this video, you'll understand why imagining the end result changes your present reality, how your subconscious cannot tell the difference between real and imagined, the step-by-step method to live in the end without forcing, pretending, or lying to yourself, and why this mindset quietly separates those who achieve the impossible from those who remain stuck. So stay with me, because if you truly grasp this principle, your life will never look the same again. Now let's start with the first myth we need to break. Most people think you need to grind harder, push longer, and suffer more to reach your goals. But the truth? Living in the end flips that idea on its head. We've been raised in a culture that worships struggle. The story goes like this: if you want success, you need to suffer for it. Sacrifice everything, hustle until you burn out. But here's the problem. When your identity is rooted in struggle, your subconscious mind only knows how to keep producing more of it. You're chasing the future, but your state of being says, "I don't have it yet." This is the paradox. The more you affirm you don't have something, the further it moves away. Living in the end dissolves this paradox. Instead of focusing on how do I get there, you begin to occupy the state of already being there. You don't wait until the end to feel fulfilled. You bring that fulfillment into the present moment. Think of it like this. The greatest athletes don't play the game while worrying, "Am I good enough? Will I win?" They step onto the field already embodying the identity of a winner. Their body follows their mind. That's the deeper truth. Success is not about suffering. It's about aligning with the state of already having it. But if living in the end is so powerful, how do you actually do it without faking it or lying to yourself? That's where we need to look at the subconscious mind. Science shows us something remarkable. The brain reacts to imagined experiences almost the same way it reacts to real ones. When a pianist imagines practicing scales, their motor cortex lights up just like it does when they actually play. When an athlete visualizes shooting hoops, the same neural pathways fire as if they were on the court. This is why living in the end works. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between pretend and real. It only knows the feeling you dwell in. So if you live in the feeling of lack, the subconscious organizes your life to mirror that. But if you live in the feeling of the fulfilled desire, your subconscious begins shaping reality to match. The key is emotion. Visualization without emotion is like planting seeds in dry soil. They won't grow. But when you imagine vividly, feel it deeply, embody the end result as if it's yours, you water the subconscious with emotional truth. That's when your actions, habits, and even coincidences begin shifting in your favor. But to really master this, you need to know the actual steps of how to live in the end, without falling into fantasy or delusion. Let's break it down step by step. So how do you do it? Here's a simple process. 1. Define your desired end clearly. Don't be vague. "I want success" isn't an end. It's a fog. What's the scene that proves it's real? Maybe it's shaking hands after signing a business deal. Maybe it's holding the keys to your new home. Maybe it's waking up next to the partner you've always longed for. Choose one clear scene that symbolizes the end. 2. Enter a relaxed state. Neville called it the state akin to sleep. It's that moment before you drift off at night or right when you wake up. Your mind is relaxed, and your subconscious is most open. 3. Visualize the end scene vividly. Imagine yourself in it, not watching like a movie, but being there. See the details, feel the emotions, hear the sounds, smell the air. 4. Anchor the emotion. What matters is not the picture, it's the feeling. Let the joy, the relief, the gratitude flood your body. 5. Return to the present with the state intact. Here's the secret. Don't leave the visualization behind. Carry the state with you into your day. Move through life as if the end were already secured. 6. Detach from forcing the how. Living in the end isn't about controlling how it shows up. It's about embodying the certainty that it's already yours. The details take care of themselves. This practice isn't about pretending. It's about training your subconscious to adopt a new state of being until reality has no choice but to catch up. But here's the question people always ask. What about doubt? What if I can't hold the vision? That's where the deeper layers of the psyche come in. Whenever you start living in the end, resistance will appear. Doubt creeps in. The voice says, "Who are you kidding? You don't deserve this." That voice is not the truth. It's the shadow, the part of you conditioned by past failures, fears, and limiting beliefs. Jung would say that the shadow must be faced, not ignored. When doubt arises, don't fight it. Acknowledge it. Say, there's the old story. Then gently return to the end state. Think of it like training a muscle. Each time doubt shows up and you redirect, you're strengthening your capacity to hold the vision. Living in the end isn't about never feeling fear. It's about refusing to build your house in it. And once you understand how to face doubt, the next step is learning how to sustain this state, not just in meditation, but in daily life. Here's where people get stuck. They visualize at night, but spend the rest of the day worrying, doubting, and obsessing. That cancels the state. Living in the end means weaving it into ordinary life. Here's how. Language. Speak as if it's already done. Instead of saying, "I hope I'll get that job," say, "I'm excited about how my career is unfolding." Body language. Carry yourself with the posture and energy of the person who already has it. Confidence communicates silently. Micro decisions. Ask yourself, if I already had my desire, how would I act today? Then act from that state. Gratitude. Not for what's coming, but for what already is. Gratitude anchors you in the feeling of completion. When you live in the end during small moments, waiting in line, driving, cooking dinner, you turn ordinary life into a constant rehearsal of the desired state. This doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means overlaying reality with the lens of fulfillment, until reality itself shifts to match. But the question remains, does this actually work? Let's look at some real stories that prove the power of living in the end. Neville Goddard told countless stories of students who practiced living in the end. One woman longed for reconciliation with her estranged husband. Instead of chasing him, she imagined herself wearing her wedding ring and feeling his presence. Within months, circumstances aligned. They reunited. Another man desired a new career. He imagined shaking hands in his new office, feeling the satisfaction of a rival. Against all odds, opportunities arose, and he stepped into the role he had already lived in his mind. Even modern psychology confirms this. Athletes who practice mental rehearsal consistently outperform those who only train physically. Entrepreneurs who embody the state of success make bolder moves. Relationships blossom when you stop vibrating with neediness and start vibrating with fulfillment. Living in the end works because it shifts your identity, and identity is destiny. So the final question is, are you willing to step into this identity now? Because the secret power of living in the end isn't something you learn, it's something you choose. So here we stand, you and I, at the threshold. You've heard the principle, you've seen the steps, you've felt the possibility. The secret power of living in the end is this. You don't wait for life to prove it to you. You prove it to life. You embody the state of the wish fulfilled, and reality, like a mirror, eventually reflects it back. Remember, struggle is not required. The subconscious accepts what you impress upon it. Living in the end is not pretending, it's creating. So tonight, before you sleep, choose one scene that represents your fulfilled desire. Step into it, feel it, live in it. And tomorrow, walk through your day as if the seed has already sprouted, because it has. The only question left is, will you dare to live in the end?